What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we are doing another special video, kind of special. This came out a little earlier, and I wasn't going to make a video on it, but then I realized, considering tomorrow I'm going to be doing a Madden 21 wishlist video, which I already recorded, so hopefully some of these things aren't already in there. Actually, you know what? Hopefully they aren't, because that means, you know, hey, we're winning. But obviously the video would seem kind of weird if, you know, I'm asking for things that are already there. Speaking of asking, like and subscribe. Yeah, no, it's a late upload. I mean, it's a surprise upload, right? Bonus, right? But we have not only the Madden 21 playbooks and AI gameplay updates. I just read that as Al, like Al's gameplay updates. Like, who the hell is Al? And we also have the running back ratings, which everyone probably already saw by now, and I also have the QB ratings, which definitely everyone saw by now. But regardless, here is the thing. Hey, Madden fans, we hope you and your loved ones are healthy and staying safe. I got something on my face here, and we thank you for the long time to learn about what we have in store for playbooks and Al's gameplay updates in Madden 21. The game's worldwide launch on August 28th. A point of major emphasis for the gameplay was improving all elements of our run defense. In doing so, we also took time to evaluate and make improvements in such other areas as formation alignment, pass coverage, and playbooks. On offense, we didn't stop with enhanced user mechanics. We also spent time improving AI, specifically clock management, play calling, and adjustments for AI-controlled teams, with the primary goal of making CPU opponents run their schemes more effectively and efficiently. I mix those words up, doesn't matter. A variety of enhancements were made to many of our core play concepts to align with our goal to encourage gamers to dig deeper in their playbooks to counter the AI QBs and ball carriers that are CPU controlled. Got a number of behavioral upgrades that we're going to tell you about today. And finally, we've shared details. We're sharing details about adaptive AI and how it will help you give you a more authentic gameplay experience versus the AI. So this is obviously pretty much a huge franchise thing. Maybe it goes into the solo challenges of Ultimate Team, which I would say kind of hurts other, players. But obviously, we heard things in the past about, AIs keying in on repeated plays, so you can't run the same play too many times, otherwise they'll know. But more about Al's gameplay changes. We introduced the NFL Live Playbooks feature post-launch in Madden 20, which I never use, and I probably should have, which are based on the schemes we see NFL teams execute during the real-life season. During the 2019 NFL season, we were able to update team playbooks with new content. In previous years, these updates would have had to wait till next year, but with live playbooks, allow for more live updates all season long. Much of the new playbook content got Madden fans excited, including Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Okay. Alternate playbooks. We're increasing the amount of content we are delivering via title updates. As this feature evolves, it will increasingly become the way we add new playbook content to the game. We've already process of variety and authenticity of our playbooks. One example of this is the New England Patriots. Patriots recently signed Cam Newton. As a result, we incorporated more plays into the Patriots Live NFL Playbook to account for Cam Newton's unique skill set, which is different than Tom Brady, of course. I read ahead a little bit, and it's they have NFL Live updates added to the default playbooks where applicable, and they have more specific things based on the head coach or coordinator. Based on research they found. Okay, fair enough. A contrasting example of this work is reflected when looking at two teams, the Panthers and the Cowboys. Panthers hired a new head coach and overhauled the majority of their coaching staff, so their playbook is a bit different since last season, where the Cowboys are a bit of an outlier because they have a new head coach but retain the offensive coordinator. According to our research, Dallas plans on keeping the previous offense in place, so their playbook for launch. I mean, is that actually true? Like, why the hell even get McCarthy then? Here's some playbook changes. I guess. I don't know. I'm not super deep into the playbooks. Defensive playbook upgrades. Main goal was to make them more unique by focusing on including the primary formations that each team uses in real life. So we got to make sure. So basically, I actually mentioned something like this, but it seems like the teams will actually play to their strengths and use playbooks based on what is their best set of players. User will also have more formation and play options available for creating a custom defensive playbook. I also think that also adds to like on-field audibles. Here's some different stuff. Once again, I am terrible with playbooks, which is hilarious because that's like the biggest thing in Madden. Defensive adjustments to offensive motion system. The most fundamental element to playing defense is proper alignment, especially when an offense uses motion or flips the play. When an offense uses motion, it usually results in a change of formation strength. If a defense does not properly adjust the formation strength, it can find itself in a vulnerable position. This is the main contributor to the I-form tight motion strategy being unbalanced at Madden 20. At the start of the production cycle this year, we identified this area as needing significant improvement and putting together a plan of action based on real-life football concepts. Basically, this translates to EA saying, all these damn cheesers making us have to actually work. What an actual scam. The new adjustments to motion system taps into the logic we use for the defensive auto flip feature based on the defensive play call and the type of offensive motion used. I feel like someone's going to exploit that somehow. They're going to be able to trigger the AI to automatically flip, and then as they're flipping, the other team's going to freaking hike the ball on you. I don't know. Defenses will adjust to this change of strength to maintain proper alignments and run fit gap integrity by treating the motion as the same as an audible. Fair enough. With this approach, we getting the defense aligned more appropriately. We can remove some of the motion restrictions we have put in place for formations like I-form tight that were necessary for game balance. So basically, you're going to have more options on offense because defense is going to be able to counter that, basically. Another goal for defense is to make more balanced to man coverage. We made improvements to the press man interaction system. Defenders will use more appropriate press man animations that scale per the matchup of the defender's press. Okay, cool, man. The press versus release rating. Madden 20 lower rated defenders were too successful at winning press interactions. Defenders in 21 can now get faked out by certain... Okay, dude. In fairness, it makes sense because basically it seemed like all you need is the speed guy, but a good release, you don't have to be the fastest guy in the world. It's just if you trick the guy, you're going to have that speed difference because you're going to be, they're going to be tricked. This allows more animation content in these situations for more separate... What? And will for more separate... I don't know, dude. Will get more separation off the line of scrimmage versus outmatched, I guess. So basically, ratings are supposedly going to work. These principles also apply to many of the match zone coverages, such as cover 4 quarters, which was, terrible, I believe. General play tuning. We made many subtle improvements to the number of legacy plays for Madden 21. These improvements will encourage users to change up their play calling and execute more plays that you have avoided in the past. Okay, but does that mean they're going to work? I don't know. As mentioned in our Gridiron Notes gameplay deep dive, we tuned the speed of many of our handoff animations so that the handoffs are the same speed going in either direction. We also changed how block shedding works defensively in relation to the handoff speeds. Block sheds will be better timed to match the point at which the ball carrier is out of the handoff animation and deciding which gap to run through. Hopefully that also means that you're not going to be stuck in an animation when you're going for a wide receiver option type play or like a sprint type play or what is it called, like an end around. These two changes have made more running plays reliable options in the ground game while also bringing balance to overused plays such as stretch and dive. So a bunch of motion crap. We had a variety in receiver stance animations, which account for the receiver's body type. Along with the new stance, we cleaned up some issues with the releases into the routes not being pressed to get them into their routes and downfield faster. Slip screen plays have been adjusted in many areas. Okay, the first is the halfback getting a cleaner release on the route while avoiding the traffic near the line of scrimmage, which was a huge issue. They would always bump into their guys, and the defense would always read it. We also added functionality for the screen blockers to sometimes block a rusher in the inside gaps before releasing out for the screen so the QB has enough time. That was another huge issue. Half the time you wouldn't even get the damn throw off. Addition to halfback improvements to screen passes. Another new addition is halfback choice routes, which will be commonly used in trips formations like gun, tray, Y, flex. These routes get your halfback involved in the passing game and allow him to make AI-driven decisions on the fly, and even halfback swing routes have been tuned so that the running back is more aware of the sideline and more responsive and okay, good. Also, another issue. I just recently seen that in our Flyers video, which you should check out if you didn't already. Wide receiver screens plays such as PA jailbreak screen. You'll notice the receivers can get immediately up the field after catching the balls, and QBs can get the ball out much quicker as you can immediately abort any play action fake at any time by pressing the right receiver. Okay, RPO. Basically RPO screens. We continue polishing them after introducing them last year. On some of the RPO peak plays, the running back will take more of an inside zone track because this path of departure makes it. So basically, they're going to make it, animations are going to be a little bit quicker this year, basically. All right, so this is more this is more based on franchise. AI teams will mix a more diverse set of pass concepts so they're less predictable and more aggressive. To pay this off, we also tune the AI pass read progression so that they are more likely to throw their best receiver in critical situations and or when there's not an obvious open receiver. The AI QB will also do a better job of coverage recognition by anticipating receivers coming open, throwing the ball before they cut on certain routes. And lastly, AI QBs are more intelligent in making reads on RPO plays and throwing the ball in time. On defense and goal line situations, the AI play call. Oh, so they won't always come in the perfect personnel package based on the offensive play, which will make you... Okay, so that kind of hints at if they're running, goal line, you can't just throw a streak. You can't just throw the ball because they're going to be wide open. Or they're just not going to always be in goal line. Also, they're going to be better in clock management, it would seem. Better utilize the game context to make decisions such as critical current score, quarter, play length, and remaining timeouts when deciding what to do in these situations. AI teams will be better at using their timeouts like a user would when trying to get points at the end of the half. They will also have a greater sense of awareness of current game conditions when deciding going forward or kicking on fourth downs. And when the game is on the line, the AI absolutely must get a score to win. The QBs will be aggressive in throwing situations. So it seems like the smarts are going to be a little bit better this year based on these. This was a pretty big point in my video that I'm going to have tomorrow early on, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, even though they say they're going to do this, will we actually see it? That's the question. So for here, they say the AIs will be able to audible to pass concepts that are ideal for attacking certain defensive coverages. The thing is, the game already does that. It's just they don't usually do it well. This logic will begin to take place after repeated defensive play calls. QBs are much better equipped to deal with all-out blitzes, and in some situations will change the protection by keeping the halfback or the tight end to block. What else do we have? Make sure you use a variety. This will drastically improve the strategy in solo games such as single-player franchise and MUT solos, and make it more difficult to exploit the AI by repeatedly running plays such as double A gap mid-blitz. So basically, solos are going to be a lot harder, and it would seem like the AI is going to block the blitz more, which is ironic because I don't even block mid-blitz well. I don't think half of us do. So this is kind of an interesting one. When facing pressure, the AI QBs will play more true to their style of play. For example, a scrambling QB will look to run with the ball if they find an open running lane. Pocket guy will look to throw the ball away when feeling under pressure, or even take a one-on-one shot down the field. Playing against Lamar Jackson compared to Tom Brady is a completely different experience this year, so be prepared to plan. I really hope so. The pressure recognition by the AI QBs will scale by difficulty, meaning on higher difficulties like All-Pro or All-Madden, it will become harder to get to the QB for a sack before he throws the ball. So basically, the AI is just going to cheese it no matter what. I hope so. I'd rather have a hard cheese situation than basically what happens in Madden is you come with a blitz and they're going to get there free. The AI will run like 3 or 4 steps out of their way and then just take the sack. They won't look to completely run. The AI almost never does. The only time the AI runs is if they're sitting in the pocket for ages, they step up a little bit into the pocket, and then they decide to take off rather than rolling out and just completely taking off. Hopefully these things are true because these are actually pretty big wins, to be honest. And then AI ball carrier updates for Madden 21. AI ball carriers have been also seen improvements. More decisive in their decision to pick a running lane and a more organic behavior in the open field. For this one, we've seen it so many times where the AI takes the right lane, goes all the way to the outside, and instead of following the lane down the sideline, they cut inside for some reason, and then instead of it being, a race down the sideline for maybe a touchdown, it's like an 8-yard gain. So hopefully these things are true because these are actually pretty big. We hope no, that's not the thing. AI QBs will look to protect themselves and the ball in a realistic way by sliding in the open field or running out of bounds. In fairness, you do see hits decently often, but they do slide at times, so it's kind of like a 50-50. And then what's next? Our next Gridiron Notes will be on Tuesday, July 28th, and focus on your feedback from the beta, which is going to be more gameplay stuff, of course. But I actually like reading this. Some of this stuff, you guys will be more excited than I will, because I'm not huge into playbooks, like I said. But as far as the AI decision-making and, some of the gameplay changes where, the AIs are hopefully going to run the lanes better, get rid of the ball safely better, and, find the open guy more. It looks like Madden 21 could be a fun franchise experience, I'll tell you that. And we already seen the QB ratings and whatnot, but... get the hell out of here, Audacity. But we do have, my reaction to these. A lot of people wanted to know, What do you think about the Carson Wentz Dak Prescott thing? I think, Carson Wentz obviously does have a couple of, game decision-making errors, which, a decent bit of QBs do. But as far as being healthy, I think he can make more throws than Dak. I think when healthy, Wentz is probably better than Dak. But because he hasn't been healthy, he hasn't really shown that he's consistent with it. So Dak and him being the same overall, it doesn't surprise me too much. Deshaun Watson, okay, fair enough. I think Matt Ryan should be a higher overall, to be honest. I don't think there would have been much of an argument if you would have put Rodgers and Matt Ryan at 90 and Brady as an 89. Drew Brees at 93, I think that's pretty fair, maybe 94. Lamar at 94, you can maybe even argue that he's less than that, to be honest. I get it that they didn't, it makes sense that they didn't give him a 99. If Russell wasn't number 2, that would make no sense at all. So Lamar Jackson at 3, I get he's the cover guy, but it's a little high to me. I think a 92 would have been fine. I think if you were able to stop his running ability, he becomes a bit simple of a QB. I'm going to be straight out with it. And then Russell, if the MVP award really meant most valuable player, as in which team needs their player the most and does well, Russell Wilson will win MVP every year. So number 2, 97 overall, completely fair. And then obviously Mahomes is otherworldly. And then for the ratings that, just released today, Christian McCaffrey as a 99 overall. You can maybe say that was a little bit of a reach, but I wouldn't put him under 97, so I'm cool with that. Derrick Henry as a 93. As far as last year goes, I get it. The Titans had a pretty damn good line. They had a really good, decent offense, actually, and then a really solid defense. But I'd say maybe a 95, 96 for Henry. Nick Chubb, 92 might be a little high. I'd probably put Zeke in a 93 if you're going to put Chubb at 92. Saquon at 91, if we're going to be honest. I think Saquon as an 89 overall was actually what they had. I think that he was actually an 89 overall, and they changed him higher because everyone had their outroar. I don't care what anyone says, dude. I think that's what happened because every other rating that was leaked for this was dead on. Like Kamara being an 88, Jacobs being 88, Mixon being 89, Jones being a 90. You don't just guess those, right? Like Kamara could have easily been a 90, 91. Dalvin could have been a 92. Jones could have been an 87, 88. You just don't guess those. Saquon was 1,000% in 89 overall, and they changed him last second. No question at all. No question. I don't care what anyone says. But as far as this goes, the first 5 I think are all right. I think Chubb should be below Zeke and Barkley, though. Dalvin, if he was not as injury, quote-unquote, prone, maybe even above Chubb. Jones is an 90. I like Aaron Jones, obviously, as a Packers fan. 90, I'd say anywhere from an 87 to 90 is fine. Maybe 89 should have been more his rating. Joe Mixon and the rest, I think Kamara probably should have been a 90. That man he just makes plays. He makes people miss. His yards per carrying was just absolutely ridiculous. But I think some of these ratings are a little off. I think Kamara should have been higher. Mixon's probably fair. And honestly, even as a Packers fan, Aaron Jones maybe 89, 88. But I like 90, and I think he has a lot of potential. So, interesting ratings. I don't know if there's going to be any more soon. I think it said something about the 17th. There's going to be like full-on ratings on like the ESPN channel. I don't know. You would assume wide receivers, maybe even some defenders would be next. I'd say probably wide receivers tomorrow, and then they'll go for some defenders maybe the next couple days. I'm not sure. But anyways, that's going to be the video. Last video for today. I actually kind of enjoyed what I read here. Let me know how you guys think it's going to change the game. Do you think it's actually going to work? Do you think franchise is going to be a legitimate experience against the AI? And, of course, definitely check out the videos tomorrow, at least the wish list video. I think it's going to have some interesting things, and we can all converse over them. You guys can let me know what I missed or what you guys like that I hit on. Anyways, my breath is almost out because I have not taken a break in a while. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. Might be a stream tomorrow like 8 or 9 Central. But until next video, see ya!